Hello, my name is Colin McNamara, co-founder of the OpenStack training project. Today what I want to show you is how to contribute to OpenStack training. This is a screencast that we held from last week's San Francisco SF Bay OpenStack hackathon. Enjoy.
Okay, so first step, for those of you who haven't seen it, so what we want to do is actually clone OpenStack manuals. So the training manuals is a directory inside of it, so github.com/OpenStack/OpenStack manuals. We're going to clone this locally. So Matthew, do you have experience using Git and Git already? Yeah. Okay. And with what, in what languages and what project? Okay, cool. So the workflow that, oh cool. The workflow we use here is on the OpenStack side is we use Git. It's for source code checkout, and we actually commit through Garrett, which effectively creates a topic branch, which then gets pulled into Jenkins for review and testing. And then once we improve through an improver, me and Sean are core and docs, so we can improve and merge. They can merge into the code tree. Okay, so I just checked out OpenStack manuals. If you look here, we're going to change directory into OpenStack manuals. That's manuals. Change directory into docs. You're going to see a couple of directories inside of there. We have training guides. So CD training guide. Inside of here, there's a bunch of files. Now, these break into book sets, chapters, and whatnot. This is the logical structure of the training information. They're all in XML. Where we're working on right now for the Associates Guide is Associate General. So, book 001, chapter 3, Associate General.xml, and then we're adding sections as cards. All right, we'll demonstrate. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to find an open card to work on. So let's go to our Trello board. Let's actually start from where a person would normally find it. Google OpenStack Training Wiki. Training Manuals Wiki is up. At the top here is a Trello storyboard. Click on that link. You just have to notify if you're going to be committing to it. Notify an admin to add you, so anyone on the board can add you. Yeah, so you have to be added by anyone on the board. So here, what we'll do is, right now, there's basically two types of cards. Some are conceptual, some are execution-based. The execution ones are really easy to add in, so we're gonna go through one of those. So, understand, verify proper configuration, understand, be able to configure. Here's one. As a trainee, I need to be able to install and configure Open vSwitch in the network node. I'm going to go ahead and assign this to myself. Or if I can find myself there, it's a much shorter beard. I'm going to then take this and move it into the doing queue. Now, everyone who's subscribed to the Trello board, your phones are probably going to make some noise right now. Now, if you look inside of this, double click on it, you'll see it's card number 43. So, we're going to use Git checkout. We're going to check out a topic branch. Card 043. It's an OVS configuration. So now what happened was I created a branch called card 43 OVS. Right? You get status. You can see I'm inside that branch. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to open up a couple files. I use TextMate. Yes, sir.
We had to augment this workflow include a Python build just to make sure we have a clean build before starting problems.
Yeah, I'm just going to open it for a second. 001, chapter 03, Associate General. So the files themselves, very simple. This is basically the chapter file, and what we're doing is we're including, basically putting a link into the cards that we're creating. So very, very simple. Next step, just as a sanity check here, we're going to make sure it's built. So we use some Java tools called Maven that references, there's a file here called PalmXML that gives us some build goals, says, hey, generate HTML files, generate PDFs. We're actually expanding it to generate slides too. So one is sanity check here. We're going to use Maven to create a clean run and generate sources. This is actually a goal that's specified inside of the inside of the Pom XML file. It's like a command file, which tells it to do, which tells the Maven what to do. It's going to take about 30-40 seconds or so. There's going to be some errors inside of here. As long as they're not critical and it doesn't exit, it should be good. Every once in a while, stuff gets merged, which will stop a local build. So if you just build it once before you edit, it makes life better. The warnings on here is when the PDFs are generated, it doesn't like off by a pixel or something. Hey Sean, question. Can you hear me well? Sean Pranav?
Yeah.
Awesome. It looks like the big jam box was a good one. Matthew, can you speak and ask if whether they can hear him?
Hey Ron, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome.
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
That's great. Cool. So I just I picked up a big jam box with the last sprint we had because everyone opening up Google Hangouts would cause a lot of echoes. Okay.
All right.
Cool. So we're just going through. Go through the one dry run. This will also be recorded on YouTube, which makes things a lot easier. Probably download it, edited it, and put it in things. So we see build success. Total time was 1:34. I'm streaming my Google Hangout, so it takes a little longer, more CPU. Okay. So next thing that we're going to do, we already have the associate general file open, which is the chapter we're working on, chapter 3. So next thing, I forgot which card I'm working on. I'm working on card 43. As an associate training, to be able to install and configure Open vSwitch and network node. So there is a user story includes template in this file. This includes template has sections which describe. Hey, how's it going, Rick? Has sections that describe how to include an entire file, a subsection of a file. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy the user includes template to a card file. We'll call it card 043, and it was Open vSwitch. Should call it OVS in network node. Are you looking for beginner or intermediate? Yeah, so we're working on code. We're working on code for the training project right now. If you want to join us, feel free.
Next door is introduction.
Okay. So if you want to join us, we love new people.
Oh, that's Sean Roberts.
Sean Roberts is on the phone right now. Yeah, Pranav in there. Are you from Aptera?
No.
No?
I work with him on script to install it.
Oh, cool. So you've been working on the Aptera in the Aptera repo right now, or no? Okay.
Yeah.
Is
The scripts that Pranav.
it
Yeah,
Peter?
that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
Is that Peter?
Yeah.
Hi, Peter.
Yeah.
Hey.
So,
Sorry, we're just with the Jambox here. So we're going through just one cycle for those that haven't gone through one card here, and then as we go and merge one card, we're then going to go break apart into remote side, which Pranav will run, and then in person we'll walk people through getting some cards done. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm copying the user story includes template to my card number. I got that right with the topic name. Now let's go ahead and we need to actually find the relevant files to link to. So go to a lot of the cards are based out of the basic install guide for Ubuntu 12.04. So in this case, we are looking for install and configure Open vSwitch in the network node. let's go into network node, virtual networking, OpenStack, Open vSwitch. Okay, so what we're actually looking for is this section right here. Procedure 2.2. Configure. Let me make sure I got the right card. Install or configure? Install and configure. Okay. So we'll go through here. Services. So we actually want to put in the networking node portion OpenStack networking. We'll actually go ahead and include this entire section inside as a configuration task. So now what we have to do is actually find which XML file this maps to. So this is the challenge here, is the HTML doesn't directly line up to the XML. XML is derived out of it, so it actually is a thing called docbooks. So if you have a map, it's actually really easy. So it's McNamara, code, OpenStack. So this, the basic install guide is actually in the documentation. 2.3. And nope, it's not the ops guide, not bare metal. Well, let's try, maybe it's not as easy as I think. To create a file. No. What we have to do is actually find a file that is, find somewhere that this is used. The second networking. Try this right here. And if that fails, browse directly into it. McNamara, code, OpenStack, stack manuals, doc, and it's install guide, basic install files. Sometimes you have to dig down deep in this stuff. Plus, sheets. View here real quick. Okay, so now we need to find, probably in common, basic install network, common and services. Basic install network. See if it's basic. Doc source documents.
Doesn't matter that you're pointing directly to Grizzly.
What's that?
Doesn't matter that you're pointing directly to Grizzly.
No, it doesn't. It shouldn't. But let's check on Trump. Or it's fine to look in Grizzly. So, and this is the exciting part of doing this. I'm saying exciting by it's really not. It looks like service, so it's going to be server, not common services. Intro. Not that. I tried that and it didn't work.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. Everyone's free to follow along and find it themselves, and they can tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't be on the network, but I'm sure I'll be
Okay. So let's swing one moment here. Neutron plugin open vSwitch agent. There we go. So it looks like what happened was, to your point, the one that's in trunk and the ones in Grizzly was a little different. So what we want to do here is we're actually going to do basic install network services.xml is what we're going to call out.
Could you just do a map on the basic install file so I can see the path and the loss where you're at?
I'll show you in a moment. Okay. Just let me get this in here. It's in the basic install guide under basic install files, and that is the this one you want. Here's the path: install guide, basic install files. Yeah, basic install services. So what we want to do is this is package and configuration. right? So now, install beat switch. I think it's the right one. So we'll see. Want to highlight a couple of things. The big one that we're looking for, either XML ID. This is called out in a specific page, or if we're cherry picking some sections, the network section. So Keith?
Yeah, that's why I messed up options.
Yeah. We'll go over that. We'll do the simple one right now. We'll include the entire file. And so what we'll do is we have the name. And over here, sorry, give me a moment. I'll find which card I was working on here. Yeah, some of the stuff here. Go back to our CLI. So now we need to open the card that we created, 043. Bam. Okay. So what we want to do now is we have a couple things available in this template. So this template file here is it includes multiple versions. There's two versions. One is including an entire file. One's including a section of the file. Right now, we're going to do just an entire file for simplicity's sake. So there's a couple things inside of here. One, XML IDs. XML IDs need to be unique, right? So we'll say card 043, OVS in network node. Even though we're not calling it out, let's be accurate about it. So there's title, paragraphs, and all this, and images. If you're adding any expansion on the card, maybe you're typing in some conceptual information or adding information directly in training guide, you would type it in here. If we're just including, we don't need to add it, right? Let's go ahead and get rid of the title here. Actually, we'll leave the title in here. Paragraph. That paragraph can go. Then we have, get rid of this. So this, by the way, this link is, there's an image called training example, and the example here is we use Google Draw for the source images. So if you create a diagram for it, do it in Google, add the edit link into here so everyone can update it in the future. Okay, so next thing we need to do, we can actually get rid of that bold paragraph of the title, which will map through, and say this maps to card is an internal node, 043, card user story, OBS in the network node. Now see this XI include here? So this is what this is saying. Pull the content from this card into this card, into the book that we're working on. So I took the name of the file we're working on. It's to install certain network services, and you pop it right in there. Now, the X pointer statement in the bottom is saying, okay, use the docx namespace, and see that /*/* is calling out any children of that file included in. So if that inside of the, remember, it's a file, but it's an XML file. And so sections, there's set books, chapters, sections, articles. There's a set of nomenclature, and sometimes larger files. In this case, the file we're including has, let's look at, a lot of files here. What was that other one we had there? So if you look inside of here, the section ID, there's section network OBS. And then if we go to look for another section here, there's section network neutron. It's actually interesting. We only want to put in network neutron. Okay. So what I will do is, for demonstration's sake, I'm going to just go ahead and include the simple file. This is being recorded as people on the phone. And then what we can go through is just clean it up a little later and merge it into and pick out the specific reference. Okay, so we have the file. We're saying, hey, include everything that is unique under it. This XI fallback is really, really important. What this does is saying, if the source file changes, which can happen since we're pulling it from external pieces of the repository, that it doesn't break the build. So what it'll do is it'll insert a dummy image saying content not found. It's very important to have that. We close out that XI include, and then at the bottom, we have a link on each page for the training, which has a submit a bug link, right? So saying what'll happen is this will generate. It'll click here and it'll actually go into the bug tracking system. So we want to keep that. Now we can go ahead and delete the section specific, but I'll show you where things are. So it's very similar to the statement above, but if you look at the X pointer statement, there's differences, specifically in the X path. If we look at the X path above, there's / asterisk / saying look at all my children. The X path in the section specific one is / without an asterisk. So it's saying specify something and then bring in all its children. And then you actually specify in that section name. In this case, controller OS. If that makes a little bit of sense, what we would actually put inside of there is network OS instead of controller OS. Actually, why don't we just do this the right way? Why do it right when you have to, instead of, you're not going to do it right when you're going to do it again, right? Okay. Network OS, network OVS, should I say. We'll change this to basic install, network services, and then what we'll do is the bug links repeated. That there. Clean up the bolds and change the title to OVS installation and configuration in network node. We have the include file, we have the pointer that it's going to, and we have its fallback, and we have a bug link. Okay, so we can save that. Go into our associate general, and this was card 43. So we look in the proper order here, and we need to add this file in. Card 043, OVS in network node XML. Control save. Okay. Now that we have those saved, make sure it works. Now, sometimes if your XML is broken, it'll break right now. Sadly, the Cloud Docs plugin is not always as verbose as it should be. So if it does break, what it'll do is it'll crap out a very, 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 very long XML file, and you can basically go down through it and see where it barked in. It's one of the reasons I like run your Maven generation beforehand and then run it again. Right? You'll tend to catch it.
What does it save XML file to? What name does it give it?
It'll tell you in the logs.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of, you can run it's in output. You can also run Maven clean generate sources -e or v, and it'll give a verbose log. Most of if a file is missing, it's actually, you can see it in the log. If you have the name wrong, we'll see it in the log. The ones that are not as fun are improperly formed XML. Those are a pain in the rear. So I have everyone right now working on the conceptual item. Assuming on the conceptual, on the technical actions, install and configure and stuff like that. Those are pretty simple to add in. One moment here. In a Google Hangouts, these are a little slower. Almost done. Cool. So it's built success. Now what it does is it creates a target directory. So this target is the created document. I'm running a Mac, so I can just use my open command. Target, docbooks, web help, local, training guide, index.html. Okay. Glad I didn't have an inappropriate site up. Yeah, that's totally inappropriate. So this brings in a local copy. You'll see file, users, C McNamara, blah, 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 the path. Working on the associate guide, chapter 3. And what did I call it? Let's see where it should be.
Maybe yes, something or other. Just know it was their comment there. There, like the amount is.
Wrong one.
That one, there you go. So as you can see here, what we've done is we've gone ahead and the section title carried through. And there's the specific commands to install the packages, to start the service and configure it. Now what we need to do is go ahead and run git status. You can see that the existing file, the chapter file was modified. So book 001, chapter 3. That card 043 needs to be added. So this is a new file in your git setup. So you got to add it in. We'll do git add. You can be specific, or you can be lazy like me and do git add star. Git status again. Oh, untracked. Thank you very much. Good morning. There we go, new and modified file. So there's a couple things that we have to do here. So we have to commit it, right? So you're going to commit it to your local repository. Then we're going to send it up for review. We're going to review or look at it. Hopefully Sean has the ability to give a sanity check. If not, if someone can pull a review, or are you set up so you can pull a review down? Okay. If you're not set up, your workstation's set up, so we'll have someone here do a review, and then anyone can do a review, or can do merge. So I like bouncing them back and forth. Every once in a while I'll miss stuff, so it's just good procedure to get a view. If someone else reviews it, I'm happy to merge it myself. Okay, so git commit -a. What we're going to do is commit these files. Now there's a specific what's called some rules about our messages that we use in OpenStack. So first things first is a short message, right? So added card 043, the 43? Yeah. Installing and configuring OVS, the network node. Now see, I'm not going past the rest of these words here. I believe there's an 80 character limit. So the goal is so we can look at them. 76? I know if you don't go past the paragraph there, you're cool. So mathematics aside, this is engineering right now. Right. Don't go over the paragraph. So one line, and that's pretty verbose, right? So card number, what you're configuring, and then the network node helps to order it. It makes it easier to review. Let me see. Added OVS section. OVS card.
Colin, can you share your screen again? I guess I've lost it from on my side.
Is there anyone else who lost it, or can anyone else see it still? Sean, can you see it? Solomon, can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
No,
I can still see it, Colin.
Okay, it's back.
Okay.
Can you please
Sorry,
give me the
it's
access
not
to
something
Trello?
from my
Yeah,
I'm not accessible to Trello. Can you please
the
give me
Hangout
the
app
access
will
to
kind of cycle through.
Yeah, sorry, I was switching back and forth. So, okay, so I'm adding OVS card, specifying specific OVS section, and then this is important here. So on the bottom, we want to tell what to implement. So the OpenStack infrastructure team actually uses. They have some tools inside here. We actually tell it what blueprint it implements. In this case, training manuals is a blueprint we're implementing. Manuals. What will happen is this will actually automatically get logged into the blueprint as action in the project. It also makes it so when you're a reviewer, you can click through and verify that the work you're seeing matches the blueprint. You can also so that's BP. BB is fixing a bug. So if you registered and logged a bug, you can go ahead and do BB/, and that will say for whatever reviewer it is that you now have this is a bug to be fixed, and it'll automatically update the bug tracking system. It's kind of awesome. Yes, sir.
Is English considered to be a bug fix?
Excuse me?
English is considered to
Bad English can be a bug fix in docs. There's a lot of on the doc side or in the training project, simple changes are valid, right? Our goals within the training are to increase contributions, to align into the general OpenStack workflow. So we use the same tools, methodologies that OpenStack docs does, but also the rest of the project. We use the same CI systems that you can take what you learn working on the training guides and you can use in other projects like Nova and Neutron. Also to lower the barriers to entry, to be able to provide open source training certification to underprivileged areas, India, Vietnam, stuff like that, in some places in America. So, but yeah, we do everything the same. Okay, so I'm going to right quit here.
Yes.
So remember, Git is a distributed version control system, so I committed locally. Now, so if anyone works with Git in like GitHub, you would then do a Git push. Maybe if you fork a repository, you send a pull request. Here in OpenStack, we actually use Garrett for code review. It's actually taken from the Android project. So the tool is Git review. Now, the different assumption that you've already gone through is well documented and a lot of videos on how to set up your laptop. So in this case, in Git review, and what it's doing is actually creating an SSH connection up to the server, and I get a review ID. Let me copy that real quick. Okay, so I have a new branch, and if I go to my browser here, you'll see a review. Now, while Jenkins is doing this, can Sean? Not Sean. Keith?
Yeah.
Can you take this number right here? And if you're back on master?
I'm on back on master. Yeah.
You're on master?
Guys.
Okay, so are you updated?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so do git review-d. What I'm actually going to do here, I'm going to change into another directory here. Code, and I'm going to show everyone online what I'm doing here. Code, OpenStack, -review. Yes, I know that you can go ahead and switch between branches. However, if I'm working one branch, I don't like to dick around with it. I'm on branch master in my review. Get cool. It's going to pull the latest revisions. I'm already up to date. Sean is executing this command, git review-d. Yeah, just need the number. 6.5. Yeah, I want you to review it. You can see that switch to branch, review, column McNamara. This actually pulled. I'm doing this in separate directories. So if you guys are routinely up together and you do like some peer review, someone will work on a card, you pass it over to one of your peers to review it. Sean and I or other core on docs would see a +1. It makes it a lot easier to go ahead and churn through reviews. So here, looking at my Jenkins page, always make sure you're signed in, by the way. Sometimes you won't see stuff. Jenkins is still cooking on it. And
I gotta do that. Sorry. As bad as I didn't do it, I gotta do it if I make it.
Maybe clean generate sources. So what Sean, or excuse me, what Keith is doing here, build failure. Are you inside the training guides directory? That's right. Jenkins is done. B+1. Cool. So Jenkins verified it. Jenkins is going to. So what we have inside on the CI servers here, though, we basically have the CI servers set up right now to do make and clean generate sources. If it builds without barfing, we're good. What it won't do, however, is, and I actually need to update the CI system to throw either a non-voting -1 or at least have a second stage in there that checks for upstream build failures. So if someone changed some source documentation and that remote constant not found, I want to call it out. But so that's why I want the reviewers, if you can just take a shot of it, if it's built, are you building right now? Or some key?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did a review.
Oh, you did?
I just did a review. Yeah, I did a +1, so if you refresh, I guess you'll see it.
Oh, cool. And did you verify that it built properly and it was structured?
Yeah, I was looking through it all through it.
Awesome. So we got Pranav that did a +1, and let's get Keith to do a +1 so we actually have to review it yourself. Okay, so Keith, if you can log on to review that. And that ID. And by the way, if you're like me, everyone else I know, and you're banging your head constantly, and you're like, where's my review button? How can I add reviewer? Scroll up to the right. You're not signed in. Just click on it. And then you can review. And do your review. Just click the review button. +1. There you go. And I can see Pranav and Keith. Thank you for reviewing. These are important. Now I'll review it. I'm going to give a +2 and 4 and approve merge. So thanks guys. We're going to publish it, and it's approved. So now we're going to see it's going to take about, the Jenkins is going to go, it may take merge this, but we're going to see a bunch of emails coming through.
Now I would need to go and then somehow the on your review range.
So starting gating jobs right now. So just give it a few minutes here. It's going to be merged. Let's change directory back in here. Get status. Let's do get checkout master. Notice I don't use /b here. B is to create a branch. It's branch master. Get full. So what'll happen? Jenkins is going to push it to get.openstack.org and github.com. It actually publishes the bulk. Just gotta wait for it to go ahead and push that. Once we verify that, we can move on to the next part. So in the next part, we'll be doing is predominantly running the Google Hangout side, and then me and Keith will be covering the room locally to help everyone else with their cards. Hold on.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it merged before it starts working, or else we end up with merge hell.
Not hell, but relatively inconvenient.
Merge perfectly.
Check what the tool's doing. Manual validate. So if you can see right here, this is actually the job. We're almost done. Started a minute 30 seconds ago. So it's actually a handy thing. So if you look at, where did I find this? I went to status.openstack.org/Zool. And you can see exactly the change key that's on. So what's happening is Jenkins and Zool are, so maybe 3 patches got approved at the same time. It's actually going to build all of them at the same time and check for a failure. If they do fail, it'll kind of shift around the order. Please. But if you're like me and get impatient about stuff, build success, which I should be able to, and I just got an email from Jenkins in real time. It should push free. Let's give it a couple seconds. Patience is a virtue, everyone. There we go. And what you can see here, book 1 is updated. We added 1 line. And then card 43 OBS network node was updated with 17 lines. So on that note, we've gone through and we've merged. So get status real quick. I'm actually on master. And at that point, maybe I can spell right. Just let's get Pranav, are you ready to take on the remote site or the?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
So can you tell me what exactly? Can you tell it again? What exactly have to do?
Yeah. Hold on. Actually, I realized I forgot one really darn important step. So in merge, move your card from doing to done. I'm probably the biggest mouth team out there.
Thank you for taking the time to review how to contribute to the OpenStack training project. If you want to learn more, you can contact us on IRC at #OpenStackDev, on our weekly team meetings, which is at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, on Freenode on #OpenStack-meeting-alt. Also by getting a hold of me at Colin McNamara on Twitter or at SARob on Twitter. So thanks again. Look forward to seeing your commits.